So I started in the Miss America organization. I got introduced when I was about 8 years old from joining the Princess program. And that's when I really got interested. I really thought a lot of the girls that were competing on stage were really inspiring. And I thought that was something I wanted to do when I was older. So I just waited until I was eligible. I started right at 13, the earliest you can start. I competed and took home my first local title, went to Miss Virginia the first year, and I received first runner-up, and I wanted to go back the second year, so I won my other local title and then won the second time around the title of Miss Virginia's Outstanding Teen. But when I competed in the year I won Outstanding Teen, we had an interview competition, so we had an 8-minute interview with a private panel of judges, and so that's when they would ask us questions off of our resume that we had to build from our social impact initiatives, which is a service initiative each girl has to have throughout her reign. And so I had that portion of competition. We also have evening gown and onstage question. They just assess your poise and ability to communicate in front of a large audience. Also, we had the talent portion, and then we had lifestyle and fitness. So my talent, I did a musical theater dance to Don't Rain on My Parade, and it was a really fun and exciting talent. It was very upbeat, and musical theater has always been one of my favorite genres of dance. I've been dancing since I was 3, and I started competing when I was 4. So I've been in the competition world, dance-wise, for a really long time. And musical theater was always where I felt most at home when I was on the stage. So I definitely wanted to showcase that part of myself, and also the message behind Don't Rain on My Parade, just showcasing my resilience through living with a chronic illness, and I won't allow anyone or any obstacle to get in my way. So my social impact initiative is called Ayana's READ initiative, Readiness to Empower, Advocate, and Diminish Hopelessness in Chronic Illness. And I chose that social impact because I was diagnosed with sickle cell disease at birth. So dealing with a chronic illness from day to day really shaped the trajectory for what I wanted my platform to be. And actually at Miss America's Outstanding Teen, when I was competing, I answered my onstage question, and I shared how I have sickle cell disease, and I shared how I'm a warrior. And that's how I got recognized by you. And then I was able to get connected to AFLAC. So I think it's so amazing how through the Miss America organization, sharing what you're passionate about and having my own personal story was able to touch you in a way that I could then become more involved with your organization as well. So I think it's a great thing to be able to have a social impact initiative that's so personal to me, and it's my personal story, and I live through it every day. So sickle cell disease is an inherited blood disorder. It really affects the shape of your blood cells. So it causes abnormality in the cells. Normally your cells are round, a round circular shape or disc shape, and sickle cells look like this, the shape of a C or a sickle, something that they use to chop wood. So that's what sickle cells look like. And because you have those little hooks, they can sometimes get caught in the blood flow, and that stumps your blood flow, and that's what causes a pain episode or a sickle cell crisis. And those are caused by that abnormality of the cells getting caught in the blood flow. And having pain can happen at any time. It can be extremely unpredictable. It doesn't really have a certain set of rules. Sickle cell can affect you at any time and really for any reason. And it's really important to make sure you're taking extra health precautions, like making sure you are dressed appropriately for weather, drinking lots of fluids to also avoid any stickiness that the cells can attract. That's really important for me. Always fluids, being active as well. It's always been a huge thing for me as well. In my own experience, I think thinking back, what I would have told my younger self, that's kind of how I interpret that, is just to use your resources and you'll be able to get through this. When I was younger, I had my first sickle cell crisis when I was 5, and this was in a kindergarten classroom. My kindergarten teacher didn't believe the pain I was going through. And this is something that has been really traumatizing for me to get through as I've become older. And I didn't really understand how to deal with that pain with other people not wanting to hear my voice, not wanting to listen to what I had to say. And so I just would encourage my younger self that despite the stigmas placed on sickle cell disease, despite what society might think about it. Your pain is valid, and you will have your own testimony to share. And that's quite evident and came into fruition today, because now I'm able to share my story with people across my state and even in different states across the nation. So I always encourage blood donation. That's one of the huge things that I'm involved with in my social impact. I'm an American Red Cross blood donor ambassador, so I advocate for blood donation. And this is because a lot of people with sickle cell disease need blood transfusions as much as every week. So I know a lot of people that need that very often just to survive. It's sustaining their lifestyle. So I encourage people to donate blood, especially people of color and people of the Black community. Donating blood is extremely important in order to sustain someone with sickle cell's life. I would also say that people can donate to their local foundations and to the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America. I'm their national teen ambassador as well. So donating to them also gives us access to more monetary funds to better the lives of people with sickle cell disease and promote more research for the illness as well. A lot of people don't want to talk about how sickle cell disease affects people in this country. And I noticed that sickle cell disease is not spoken about as much as people in the oncology clinic or cystic fibrosis. Different diseases I'm seeing are having a lot more monetary funds, a lot more mental health resources. And so what my goal is to just create more outreach and awareness surrounding sickle cell disease. People need to know what it is and be able to understand that and show empathy. I'm also youth legislative advisor for Delegate Candy Munden King. She's a delegate of Prince William County. And I went to the Virginia House of Delegates, and I was able to be recognized during their General Assembly. And she had 6 pieces of legislation that she was trying to pass to better the lives of people with sickle cell disease. And none of her bills went through. And I really think that just shows how sickle cell disease is put on the back burner at times, and people aren't recognizing how chronic pain and form of sickle cell disease affects people across the nation. Sickle cell affects approximately 100,000 Americans each year. And even though that's rare in the grand scheme of things, that's a lot of people whose lives are lost. And that's a lot of people whose lives are neglected from having sickle cell disease. So I definitely think we need to just create more outreach and stomp out sickle cell by getting our message out there, getting our stories out there so people can understand where we're coming from and understand our stories. So I would just recommend visiting the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America, their website, and so you can get a lot of information on sickle cell disease, just different statistics on how it affects people, but also knowing how to get more involved in your local community. Also visiting the American Red Cross so you can figure out how to sign up, donate blood. I think that's extremely important, again, especially for people of color and those of African American descent. And I think that's the biggest ways you can get involved and really help the sickle cell community. I just encourage everyone to know that everyone with sickle cell has their own story, and it's not difficult. And we are warriors, and we continue to fight every day just to survive. And so you helping in any sort of way can definitely better the trajectory of someone's life. And can even save someone's life with sickle cell. So I encourage everyone to get involved.